Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. It has been ages since I last did a vlog video, so it's nice to just come and chill with you guys today, and I have actually a lot of stuff to update you on. So I don't know if you remember, ages ago I told you guys about my crazy neighbour next door. It's basically like an old lady who would bang on the walls and shout and be really abusive and stuff. I mentioned her in an old vlog video, but I actually forgot to let you guys know what happened after that. And it's a bit like, whoa. Basically, I can't remember what happened, or what I said to you guys about it last, but basically she had police outside of the house for about 5-6 hours waiting for a warrant to get her out of the house. She would not come out of the house, she was shouting, and like I'd stayed at home that day. I hadn't gone to college and I'd stayed at home and I was just like listening and watching out the window. And at the end of these like 5-6 hours, an ambulance turned up. They got into the house, they dragged her out kicking and screaming, and then strapped her down in the ambulance and took her away. And it was a bit like, oh, horrible thing to see, but like there was definitely something wrong with her, and you don't want to be living next to someone who's abusive to you, and to be quite frankly is dangerous. So anyway, she'd been taken away to somewhere, maybe the hospital, I'm not sure where she went, but she was going there for a month to be assessed, and within that month her son, who lived with her, was 45. He was very strange. He just didn't seem 100% right. There was something weird about him, and actually 10 days after she was taken away, he committed suicide and drowned himself in a river nearby here, which was just like, whoa, what the hell, because we didn't know anything about it until we saw it in the paper. And not long after, that woman returned. She is now okay, she doesn't speak to us, she's not noisy, she's absolutely fine. So I'm presuming she must be highly medicated or something, but it was just like a really, really weird situation to be in, you know, a thing to experience. Like, I never knew anyone that committed suicide before, and it was just strange thing to think about. So I know that probably didn't start it off to a nice happy note, but it was something I meant to like update you guys on, because it was just so weird. And then actually not long after, you guys already know this, but my nan actually passed away, and that was in March, I think, this year maybe. I think it was March. And it was really, really shit. Basically, it was the first sort of death I've had to experience of a family member while I've been old enough to remember it and to live it and to be in the moment. And basically what happened, she just had a stroke one night, and my granddad luckily was with her and called an ambulance, and pretty much as soon as she'd had a stroke, she was brain dead, and you know, it was just a body that was being kept alive by machines, essentially. But we didn't know that. We didn't know that for a couple of days, so we kept going to the hospital expecting that, you know, maybe one day she'd come out of it, and then we learnt that, you know, she was brain dead and that she could probably hear you, but the chances of her getting out of it were like minimal. So anyway, it was a really, really tough time for the family. We were all round my nan's bed. People that we, you know, some family members had fallen out and they were all there, and it was nice. Even Chris came actually to the hospital, which was really, really, really supportive. Like, I really needed him. And they eventually switched the machines off that were keeping her alive. And I think it took a couple of days actually for her body to shut down, and she died. And I mean, I have this like thing in my head where I'm like, oh, maybe she's just like gone on holiday somewhere and like not told anyone. Like, I have this in my head, but No, it sort of hasn't settled with me yet. It's so strange that you can be with someone or, you know, have so many memories with someone and then one day they just disappear. And then very recently, probably one of the hardest things I've had to go through was I had to put my dog down. Basically one day my Rottweiler, Cara, who was 8 years old, had a seizure, and I woke up. She sleeps in my mum's room, which is just the other side of that wall, and I woke up at 2 in the morning to loud repetitive banging, and I was thinking, what the hell is that? It's like, oh, maybe it's the neighbour, I don't know what's going on. And then after it stopped, from a couple of minutes, my mum shouted for me and said that it was Cara, and she'd actually had a seizure, and then she couldn't walk, she was very disorientated, I don't think she could see properly. She had saliva and foam all coming out of her mouth, and you know, she was just like, wasn't her, if you get what I mean. And like, we stayed up with her till about 6, and then I went to bed and my mum stayed up because I was just so tired. And she kept having seizures and it was horrible. Like, we had to just, I mean, you can't do anything but just try and comfort them. But we did ring the vet like early in the morning, who said that they actually don't know that they're having the seizure, and they won't remember it, which is a great thing, obviously, because it was so horrible to watch. And then we ended up taking her to the vet, who did blood tests to try and work out what was wrong with her, but she was just so not herself. She was so down, and like, she would look at you, she kept staring at me, but it was just a blank expression, like she didn't even know who I was. And it was a really hard thing to go through, actually. But we ended up taking her back to the vets later on that day, and we got her put to sleep. And it's still like, I miss her a lot. I do. I miss her a lot. Like, one day I was so upset, I was so stressed out. I think it was around the time that my nan died, and I had exams, and I just needed to cry and break down, and I did. And I was in the lounge downstairs and I was crying hysterically, and I was on the floor, and I just needed someone. Like, when my nan died, I felt like I was really on my own, and like I had no one to sort of just comfort me and talk to me about it. And I was on the floor crying, and Cara came up to me. She got off the sofa, came up to me, and like came to me as though to cuddle me. And as tears were coming down my face, she would lick them off my face. And she's never ever been like that before. And like, I have that moment like ingrained in my memory, because she was so loving, and you know, I spent every day with her. I'd take her for walks, and I really expected that she'd have been around for a much longer time, which is why it was such a shock, because it came so suddenly. She'd never been like that before. Like, in the week before it all happened, she seemed a bit not like herself, but you know, dogs can get like that sometimes if they're not feeling very well, or you know, they've got a tummy ache or whatever. And it was just a really, really big shock to the system, and I'm still sort of getting used to it, if you like, to not having her around. It's hard. It is like family, and I don't want it to look like I kind of cared about my dog more than I did my nan. Don't get me wrong, like I loved my nan, but it's been a much longer time, and I've had that time to grieve. Like I would go to bed every night and I would be in tears. I would cry myself to sleep, and then when I would have a shower I would cry in the shower, because then no one could see that I was upset, and I'd just come out with bloodshot eyes. And yeah, so pretty shit couple of months this year, but it doesn't look like anyone else is gonna die soon, so that's great. Okay, moving on. I really didn't want to get upset, but whatever, moving on. As my dog did die, most of you know this is a rented house that we moved into in January this year. And we had trouble actually, because we have 3 dogs. We have 2 Yorkshire Terriers and 1 Rottweiler, and the Rottweiler was causing some problems because a lot of rented accommodation don't like having dogs, especially not 3, and especially not one big one, because Rottweilers are stereotyped as being horrible and whatnot, which is absolutely rubbish. But anyway, as she is no longer here, we could actually go and find somewhere that's much cheaper, which would make our living, me and my mum's living, much more relaxed, and there'd be spare money to go and do things and have fun, instead of it all being paid into rent and bills and whatnot, because pretty much this is a 3-bedroom house and there is only 2 of us. The 3rd bedroom is actually full of rubbish, so it is a waste of space. So we are looking to be moving. We've viewed 1 house so far, but it was just so small. Like my room would have literally just fit my bed and a wardrobe, and like I don't even have wardrobes, because here there are built-in wardrobes. In my old house it was built in, so I don't actually own wardrobes, so we're gonna struggle, I think, and it's a bit stressful at the moment because we've pretty much got to say that we're leaving here, and if we don't find anywhere by the time we have to leave here, that means we have nowhere to live. So that's like really quite stressful at the moment, but I'm also really excited to leave here. Like I've noticed problems in my room, like the condensation from the windows would go on the windowsill, which would then become mouldy. I moved my cupboard from a wall that's like the outside wall, and behind it was covered in mould, and I was absolutely fuming. I'm so happy that nothing of my stuff got wrecked, you know, and the landlord never said anything about that, funny enough. And then in my wardrobe, one day I took out a top I wanted to wear and all of the one side of it was soaked. I was thinking, what is going on here? And I looked and I felt the wall, and the wall was soaked. So half of my wardrobe I actually now can't use. I've had to take out my suede shoes that I keep in my wardrobe and put them in the spare room because they were going mouldy. I'm just fed up. Like, it really annoys me when the landlord must have known that you know, the house does get mouldy and damp. And like, I have been sleeping in here and there has been mould behind a cupboard that I haven't even noticed. Oh, it's disgusting. So I really just want a house that doesn't have mould, and has a big enough room. I don't think that's too much to ask for somehow. I feel like I've made this video like really down and depressive, and I really don't mean to. It's like, you know, when you really just want to get something off your chest, even if it, you know, affects your emotions and makes you a little bit upset. Like, I do feel better for talking about it, and I feel like you guys can connect with me more if you know more about me, and the things that go on in my life that, you know, I would tell my friends, because I consider you guys friends. Like, I tell you guys most things. So yeah, like, I really hope people haven't gone, oh my god, what a depressive bitch, because I'm not. as you know, most of the time I'm quite happy, but sometimes, you know, life gets you down. But moving on, I did say on my Facebook page I was going to be selling my hair extensions slash hair pieces slash wigs and stuffs, which I am going to. They are going to be sold on eBay, and the majority of the percentage will be going to a charity called Little Princess Trust, which is basically they supply wigs for children who have lost their hair through undergoing cancer treatment. It would mean so much to me if you could really be generous with your bids, because I would love, with your help, to give at least one child a wig for Christmas. What I will do is, depending on whether they'll be up for sale when you see this or not, I will put my eBay profile page link thing down below, so then just go over and keep checking that and they'll be up on there. They will also be advertised on my Facebook page most likely, but as I said, please do be generous. I will post internationally, so if you don't live in the UK, then please do bear in mind that the postage is going to be more than it would be for someone who lives in the UK. So you must actually cover the cost of that when you buy it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, but what I will do is put all of the information underneath each of the listings for the hair extensions or whatever, so make sure you do read that, because I don't want to have any problems with anyone, because that'll drive me insane. I might put some other stuff on there too. I'm trying to have a clear out because we are trying to move house. I don't want to be lugging stuff around with me the whole entire time of my life, so I'll try and get rid of it. Also, the reason why I am getting rid of the hair extensions is a lot of them don't actually match my hair anymore, and so they're kind of just sitting there, or like I know I won't use them and they're sitting there, and I don't want to end up dyeing hair extensions because it takes so long and I just can't be bothered. I'm not actually too fussed about wearing hair extensions anymore, so I'd quite like to get rid, and you know, some child or children will be able to benefit from it, which will be really, really nice. Oh, forgot to say, should have said this at the start. If you haven't already, there is a international festive box giveaway going on, and if you are interested in entering, it is free for everyone to enter. If you are 16 or over, then go ahead. If you're under 16, please do get parental permission, and all you have to do is watch this video, which will pop up now, and don't worry because it'll open up in a new window, so you can like watch the rest of this one and then go and watch that one, or you can watch that one and then come and watch the rest of this one, whatever you want to do, and they'll tell you all of the details on how to enter, as well as what you can win. There is only a couple of weeks left, so make sure you get your entries in. What else did I have to say to you? I remember writing a massive long list and then like just can't remember. Oh, in terms of college and exams, I have been so stressed out, which is why I kind of haven't been uploading videos, because I've been trying to like revise and be a good girl, and like I don't want to, like it's Christmas coming up and I want to be happy and chilled out and not have to worry about things, so luckily I don't have another exam until January, so I'm kind of just in chill Christmas mode at the moment, which I know I shouldn't be, but I am. I'm so ready for Christmas. Apart from I haven't actually finished my Christmas shopping yet. I've run out of money, which sucks. So I'm really hoping that I get paid enough before Christmas that I can cover the cost of people's presents, but if not, they'll just have to make do, won't they? So I'm gonna say that that's everything that I needed to cover. It's probably not. There will be lots of new exciting videos coming, so don't think I've disappeared off the face of the earth and given up on YouTube, because I haven't. I am just a little busy at the moment, but there will be lots of videos coming, I promise. Yeah, I think that's everything I needed to say to you guys. If there's anything else I needed to update you on, I'll put it down below. As per usual, that box is just the box where I forget things to say. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you to listening. Thank you to listening to me. Thank you for listening to me. I can't speak now. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.